this. I'm always adjusting like crazy.
I know, it's always in the way. I'm always like playing with it or moving it around.
That's what she said. Welcome everybody to the JJ and Pug Show. This is April 30th, 2025, recording from the Highland Communities Podcast Studios. And let's see. This is the song that I told you was... In the last episode, we talked about Scotty Doesn't Know.
Scotty doesn't know that Fiona and me do it in my van every Sunday.
This song is very dirty.
She's in church, but she doesn't go. Still, she's on her knees, and Scotty doesn't know.
Yeah, Scotty doesn't know. Let me tell you what, dude. When I was watching the lyrics, I'm like, I don't know that I should put this on. It is very dirty, and I don't remember that. But it kind of goes...
naive and young.
Yes.
Like that.
Dude, it goes just like with what we were talking about earlier when it says, like, you think the songs you were singing as a kid were, like, not all that bad. And the stuff the kids listen to now, like, oh my gosh, I can't believe they would listen to this. And when I'm listening to this, I'm like, I used to listen to this song a lot.
I remember the whole WAP thing came out.
Yeah.
Right? It was huge. Oh my gosh, I can't believe you let your kids... Bro, you're the same people that listening to My Neck, My Back. All right? Let's just stop right there, dude. Like, yeah, dude, spin around.
Now listen to this. Yeah, okay. It's,
what were you listening to?
Dude, I'm telling you, man. This song. Anyway, this song.
Can you send me this song?
It's called Scotty Doesn't Know by Lustra, Lustra.
That makes sense.
It's a fake band from a song that was like we talked about. Oh, yeah, it was real songs. I Do I. Greatest fake song of all time. This was on the list as well. It was great fake songs from the movie Euro Trip, which I never saw.
Great movie. Came
yeah.
out after American Pie. It's kind of like a spin-off Road Trip and American Pie. All that concept, yeah.
Yeah, I figured that would be the case. Anyway, all right, so this is going to be, I guess, not as serious a podcast as the one that's coming out next week. I guess let's get a little bit of a spoiler for you guys. We recorded 2 episodes because I'm going to be gone in Florida, and I wasn't aware you're going to be gone the following week, so we are going to have a bit of a hiatus after that.
Or maybe I can call in.
We can do
a thing, something, nothing long, but something where, depending on what time I have.
We'll just say, if something goes down, we ought to talk about.
Yeah.
I mean, because right now we're in the first round of the playoffs. Let's be real. There's been a few that have actually been really, really awesome. Like right now, the Nuggets-Clippers series has been.
Is it 3-2 now?
Yes.
All right.
Oh my gosh, it's been so good. It's been so good. That let's see. This is my qualm with the play-in tournament. When I first introduced it, I thought it was such a great idea. The whole concept is, instead of it being just the top 8 teams for every conference that goes to the playoffs, it was the top 6 teams have an automatic berth into the playoffs. 6 through 10 have to play in a single game elimination tournament. If
you 6 play 10 and 7 play 8?
No, excuse me.
Or whatever.
7 through 10. So 7 plays 10.
Okay.
And 8 plays 9.
Okay. All right. That's what I meant. Yeah.
Okay. So people in 7 and 8, they have a double elimination. So they can lose their first game as long as they win the second game, they're in the playoffs. But if you're 9 and 10, you lose once, you're out.
Do you play the same team in the double elimination?
No. So let's say if it's 7 and 10 playing, 7 loses, 10 goes on, and they have to then play again to get into the tournament. Or they're in. I think that's how it goes. They're in. And if then 7 plays the loser of 8, 9. And so 7 could, if they lose both times, they're out.
Yeah.
But if 10 beats 7 the first time, they're in. Okay. Anyway, the whole idea was like, cool. That would make more teams feel like they can compete and be into the playoffs. And they're going to try harder through to the end of the season. They're going to stop resting their guys. They're not going to tank all the time. Problem is, you get a 1-8 matchup like we did this past first round of the playoffs, where the Grizzlies absolutely embarrassed themselves against the Thunder.
Yeah, didn't the Thunder beat them like 54 points?
They beat them by 50 in the first game, 51. Yeah. I think if we were to look at like the total, I think they probably beat them cumulative over like, I don't know, 100 points over the course of 4 games. It was awful. Even the game in which the Grizzlies were up by 30 points at some point in the game, they lost it by double digits. That's how awful they were against the Thunder.
Insane.
And the Cavaliers, the Cavaliers, the number 1 seed in the East, beat the Heat, the final game of that, which was also a sweep, by 55 points.
How are you that bad in the NBA?
Bro, but that's also the problem with the play-in tournament. Like,
is Miami all white?
Do you think so?
I'm just saying, dude.
I mean, but they're not. I mean, typically the Heat are really good. The problem is Jimmy Butler absolutely torpedoed the team, walked his way out of there, made sure that they didn't get anything good in return because he had to be shipped out. So, I mean, Miami found themselves in a really tough spot. Also, Cleveland is really good. Really good. The first time I can say that without LeBron James wearing a Cavaliers jersey. They are a really good team that doesn't have one guy that's like, if this guy goes down, the whole team falls
that's good
apart.
because the Browns are going to be fantastic too.
Yeah, with 5 quarterbacks. Dude,
They
my
only
gosh.
have one. They only have one.
They don't have any.
Actually, they have 2. They have Deshaun Watson because they can't get rid of him, and the
He's
only other
also can't
quarterback
play
they're
because
going
he tore his Achilles.
and so it'll be Shedeur Sanders no matter what.
Or Dylan Gabriel, who they drafted in the third round.
I'm just saying, no, it won't even matter because they're gonna dude, Deion's gonna push this whole Shedeur Sanders thing. We should just talk about.
Okay, let's get it out of the way. We're gonna bypass the playoffs for a little bit
for a second because it's just, dude, what. I read a thing from Chris Carter today, which is, for those who don't know, he's a Hall of Fame receiver for the Minnesota Vikings, number 80, great player. He played alongside Randy Moss, just phenomenal. So he basically in his article or his little statement, he says that the NFL did what they did to Shedeur Sanders to teach him a lesson. Humility or whatever, right? Which makes sense to an extent. But then there's like all these like conspiracy theories about how this was all planned and this was always going to be a thing and he was going to go to number 5. And the reason why is because they could pay him 5th round money, but then start him. It was like, and then I'm like, did you find that, he's taking a pay cut?
Oh, huge pay cut.
From the NIL was going to pay him $4.2 million. And now for the next year. And now he's only making, minimum, rookie salary of 800, whatever, thousand, the Brock Purdy contract stuff,
My thing, when I hear stuff like that, I'm like, it couldn't possibly be that nobody thought he was that good.
Dude, he's not that good.
Because he's not that good. He's good. Don't get me wrong. He's good.
I say with Cam Ward and him talking.
Oh, loved it.
His attitude is exactly right. Dude, Cam Ward's like, no, I play football. I want people to know I play football, not rap, not sing.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm not worried about Gatorade paying me or an endorsement deal. I get paid by football.
Yeah. It was
there's also,
sure.
Dude, there's a chasm between the route that Cam Ward took to get to the NFL and Shedeur Sanders. Again, it's not to say that Shedeur Sanders is without talent. He clearly has talent, right?
He's a more than average college quarterback, but he is not a pro quarterback.
I would say he is a very good college quarterback.
Yeah.
But dude, I can name a million elite college quarterbacks that did nothing in the NFL. Matt Leinart was an
laundry list of them.
Elite college quarterback.
Phenomenal.
Did nothing in the NFL.
Not a thing. Well, he did go to the Cardinals, which arguably is just like him. This kid who they think is going. And, I love how Cam Ward's like, yeah, my completion percentage would be like 90% if all I threw were check down the bubble screen.
Yeah, dude, because he was throwing the ball downfield. And I remember watching him that year in Miami. I was like, this guy is cool. Like, when I say cool, I mean like he was not flustered ever. Yeah, there was never a moment where I watched him in the 3 or 4 games I watched in Miami play where I'm like, dude, this guy feels like he's under pressure and he's not making a good decision. Like, no, bro, was just ease everything all the time. But anyway, so here's the path that Shedeur Sanders took to the NFL and what Cam Ward took. Cam Ward was a 0-star recruit out of high school. Okay. That means nobody looked at this guy and thought anything of him. He went to Incarnate Word. I didn't even know that was a college. Had no idea. So I guess it's some
I just learned.
It's some Christian school in Texas. Didn't know anything about it. From there, he transferred to Washington State. Okay, Division I program, plays in a big conference. One of 2 schools in the Pac-12. But I mean, okay, and he actually put up really good numbers up at Washington State. Okay, and finds out that if he goes to the NFL, he's probably going to be a 5th rounder or worse. So he said, okay, I'm going to stay in college. Goes and transfers to my University of Miami. Final year of eligibility, by the way. So he's 23, 24 years old, I think. And from there has a great year in Miami. Miami does not win national championship, but turns Miami into a very viable university, which once upon a time when we were young was the place. It was the U, baby.
Yeah.
And Willis McGahee, dude, most disgusting knee injury of all time.
Yeah, for sure.
I had a good NFL career though, somehow. Yeah. But anyway, so it was the place and it's kind of coming back. And now that you can pay players legally, I think it's going to be doing really well because it was great when you could pay him illegally.
Yeah.
But anyway, he took a long road to get to the NFL and he made stops that were hard to make and made serious progress. Shedeur Sanders has never been coached by anybody that is not named Deion Sanders, who is his dad.
Dude, I love Deion as a player.
Yeah.
He was great. What he is doing to his kids is destroying them.
I really wonder what I don't want to question the dad, right? Because all the crap that I could talk about LeVar Ball, guess what, dude? He got 2 of his boys in the NBA. And they're good players.
Well, and both of his sons did get drafted.
One did.
Both did.
Shiloh did not get drafted.
The Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
They drafted him?
Yes.
No way. Or did he sign an unrestricted free agent?
No, I'm pretty sure they drafted him.
I gotta look that up. I didn't think he got drafted.
Dude, I thought for sure he did.
Look. Oh, anyway. Okay.
I'll look. You keep talking.
Okay. What I was going to say is he obviously did a good thing for his kids in college. He got them to college. He got them through college. He got a massive name, image, and likeness deals, NIL deals. They made a ton of money in college. But the way that they prepared themselves for the NFL, specifically Shedeur, because so much came out about how awful he was in his interviews. And I remember listening to Todd McShay. He said this multiple times before the draft. He had said that he had heard that it wasn't that Shedeur Sanders was disrespectful in his interviews, but that it was clear he did not care what you had to say.
Because he came in with like music playing on his headphones. His headphones are on his neck.
Yeah.
He signed as a free agent, just so you know. I was wrong. It was the same thing.
He's in the
Saturday
NFL.
After the draft.
He's in the NFL.
Yeah.
But that's what I thought. But it was also like pretty well established that he was not going to be a drafted prospect, but that he still had prospects to be in the NFL. Just didn't think anybody was going to waste a draft pick on him. Where are we going with this? Oh, yeah. The way Deion is preparing his kids for the NFL seems to be a really bad route because all the talk is about entitlement and all the talk is about nepotism. None of the talk is about, okay, this kid can play. He's actually got qualities. I know a lot of the knocks on him in college were not that he wasn't good. It was that he holds onto the ball a little too long to try and make something bigger out of a play than what is actually there. He takes too many hits because he does hold on to the ball a little too long, and his arm is not an elite strength or even great strength. It's kind of average strength.
Yeah, he's not like anybody you want to like. He's not just what really makes me angry is the fact that they retired his number at Colorado.
Oh, dude, my gosh. Yeah.
You've done nothing.
Nothing. You didn't even win a bowl game.
You are nothing, bro.
You played 2 seasons at the University of Colorado, which, by the way, a team that has a national championship, and you did nothing there. No. That is what screams of nepotism. That right there is, Coach Prime, we don't want you to ever leave, so we're going to retire the number 2 jersey of your son who did nothing for us, accomplished 0 real career goals. We won exactly, I think, 12 games his entire time here in 2 seasons. Guys, it's terrible. I don't even know he won 12 games.
He's not that good, dude. He's only 6 foot tall, 212 too. Like
I thought he was about 6'2".
It's 6'1", 212.
Okay. So he's average height, average size. The other thing that I'd found, this was probably the most surprising scouting aspect, is as an athlete, you'd think that the prodigy of Deion Sanders, one of the most insane athletes in NFL history, would be an elite athlete. Nope. Turns out he is average at best when it comes to athleticism in the NFL. And that's one of the reasons why I got him into trouble, is he thought he was a better athlete than he was and that he could take more risks on the field, and he can't. And that's going to catch up with him real quick in Cleveland.
All I'm going to say is I ran a faster 40-yard dash than he did.
There you go.
That's all I'm saying. I mean, whatever.
What did he run?
A 4.68.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
For a quarterback, that's bad. That's not bad.
But not for Deion Sanders' kid.
No, not for Deion Sanders'
ran it like 4.21 or something.
Also, by the way, Shedeur said he was going to run faster 40 than his dad. So the story,
what an idiot.
The story of Deion Sanders at the combine was that he ran his 40 and didn't stop running and just ran out the tunnel, and that was the end of it. Because that's all he was there to do. I'm going to run my 40. Yeah.
Oh.
Well, I'm going to run my 40. You guys can see how fast I am. And there's nothing else I need to do at the combine, which back in the day, that was like.
Was enough.
Well, no, that, but like back in the day, it was like, you didn't shut the combine down, dude. We did everything we possibly could to prove to other teams that you were the greatest athlete of all time. You didn't say, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. You didn't have the power. Well, Deion had the power. And I think his kids think that they had the Deion power, and they don't.
You don't.
So,
it makes me so mad.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I just worry that what's going to happen in Cleveland is now there's another quarterback that they drafted, Dylan Gabriel, who almost won the Heisman out of Oregon, and they drafted him 2 rounds earlier.
I liked him when he played there.
He's
I liked him.
So the size wise, he's Kyler Murray, right?
No, I don't. I didn't know.
I think he's 5'11".
You know what? I'm sorry. I'm not thinking of him. I was thinking of Bo Nix, and he's already.
Oh,
gone.
Yeah.
He's already gone.
Yeah, he's in Denver.
And he's done pretty well in Denver for a rookie. Yeah.
Well, and Dylan Gabriel came from Oklahoma to Oregon, and Oregon had a great season. They did. He was really good there. But like I said, he's a less athletic Kyler Murray.
Where did Quinn Ewers go?
7th round. That much I know. I do not know who drafted him. I do know that he should have, and I said this to my nephew, Shador and Quinn should have stayed in college one more year and collected more NIL money.
Because it's more than you're going to make now.
It's way more than you're going to make now. And maybe that one extra year, you learn something, you get better, and you improve your draft stock.
Well, I know there's always that fear of like getting hurt.
Yeah.
But as a quarterback, they can't, dude,
can't touch you.
If they put their finger on you when they run by, it's a penalty.
Dude,
like they protect them so much. It's stupid.
Where's the MC Hammer? Can't touch this.
Yeah, pretty much, dude. That's that you are as a quarterback. You can't even touch them.
No, you can't touch them at all. That's a flag right there anytime that you want to breathe on them.
Yeah.
And that's true of the NFL and in college. I was just talking to this with somebody. I was saying that I don't consider quarterbacks to be football players anymore. And it's not that I don't think that's the most important position in sports, because it is. It's that they don't play football. They hand the ball off and they throw the ball. They're not allowed to be tackled, and they do not tackle. They don't block. They don't break tackles. Like, those are like, when you think of football, that's like the essence of the game. And they don't participate in that. And if they do, it's a flag on the other guy. Even if they're the ones that, not that I have a problem with it. I'm still going to watch NFL. I still love the game. I do think that we need to be real about the way that quarterbacks are protected versus every other position on the field.
They don't need to be so protected. It's never been a thing. I don't like, dude, don't play quarterback. If you're not willing to take a shot, don't play quarterback.
Yeah. Or, the thing that I like is to hear Tom Brady talk about, where he's basically like, it's funny to hear him say that he's opposed to some of these rules, because like, I think a lot of these rules were made for
because
you,
of
dude. Yeah, like, I think they were there to protect you.
Yeah.
But his whole thing was like, if you can't read a defense and get the ball out on time, you deserve to get hit. Like, it's not wrong. It's not on the defender to give you time.
What we should do is focus on making quarterbacks like Donovan McNabb, Dante Culpepper, giant freaking men playing quarterback, right? Like guys that are not Tom Brady, who is 180 pounds. Yeah, Andrew Luck, some guy stock, you can throw the ball. Like, maybe we make him a little bigger and stop taking the tall, lanky one and making him a quarterback because he's 7. And like, this is what we're going to do with this kid. It's like, no, we know that like, we're going to get crushed later in life. But no, because in high school, everyone else, I think you can still tackle the quarterback pretty good.
I haven't watched a high school game. I'm not going to say since I played, but
it's been a while.
Not within, maybe within 10 years of when I played.
Like, I'd be curious, like, if you can, because I remember, like, when we played, like, the quarterback, I was a D end, right? So I had outside containing the quarterback and whatever. The point was, if like the quarterback fake like he had the ball, it was put him in the dirt.
Yeah, dude.
Put him in the dirt. I don't know if you can do that in the NFL or even college, where like if they even just fake like they have it still, if I could come and clean their clock, I'd be like, bro, I didn't know he didn't have the ball.
Here's the question though. How many teams are actually playing option left? Yeah. Nobody's playing the option anymore.
They don't. Dude, I'm telling you, in high school, I feel like if you brought back the wing tee and focused on it.
We've talked about this, dude.
I really do think that it would be really good because nobody knows how to defend it anymore.
No.
20 years ago, they did because it was everywhere. Now you've got a group of kids and coaches who've gone up who've no clue how to defend it. And the backfield on a wing tee offense is insane. Dude, the movement is crazy.
Dude, I would just run the wishbone. I know you're talking about wing tee, dude. Wishbone is really hard to figure out what's going on in that backfield.
I think it's the same thing. It's just wing tee, wishbone. Isn't that the same thing where you're running like you have running backs are handing the ball to running backs sometimes?
Yeah. So the wing tee is quarterback, fullback, and 2 running backs.
Yeah. They have them on the side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like it's like a wishbone.
It's the same thing.
No. You're saying wing tee. Your wing tee is, for I remember wing tee, it was quarterback, fullback, and then running backs to the right or the left of the fullback, and then a
slot receiver
hanging off to the side.
Yeah, who could come in the backfield and do stuff.
Yeah, so the wishbone is quarterback, fullback, and then 2 running backs right behind the fullback on either side.
See, we didn't run that much, but
bro, let me tell you what, man, the wishbone,
power football.
That was power football, dude. You'd run like a double slam to the left side with a fullback and the other halfbacks blocking the lead blockers. It's fun stuff.
You essentially get rid of your Z back and you're playing. You have 2 receivers, you have a Y and an X, and that's it.
Yeah,
and you're playing downhill football, bro.
Dude, it's like a throwback to like way back in the day. Like, you don't ever see that.
I think if you put that kind of formation in a play and you're like, hey, anytime we're inside the 10, we're going to wishbone or wing tee.
Hey, Coach Johnson, you hear us talking here? Let's implement
I'm
this.
just curious. Granted, I'm not a coach, and maybe he'll tell you there's a million reasons why, right? Because it's actually not hard to defeat the wing tee if you know what you're doing, because we got beat.
But, okay, do you know University of Georgia Tech?
No.
Okay, Georgia Tech and Air Force and Navy. They are famous for running an option wishbone offense, and it is good. Now, they're never going to have the athletes that other massive universities have, but the success that those teams have is immense.
Well, it's like Nebraska back in the day. Remember triple O?
Yeah.
Triple option, baby.
Well,
Let's go.
the reason why it's so successful is because, listen, if I don't have elite athletes on the edge, guess what I do have? I got big dudes in the middle, and we're just going to do our best. And there's so many responsibilities in defending an option offense that if somebody misses that opportunity, misses that assignment, the whole thing, the play breaks wide open.
Oh, yeah.
So, that's
I hate so like,
version there.
I remember when I played after high school, we played the wing tee, so it was a lot of man on, right? Like it was, you knew who you were going to get, cross blocking, all this stuff. And then when I went and played in the All-Star game, it was zone blocking, and I'm like, I hate that concept. I don't like the idea of like, hey, like, we're going to share responsibilities here. Cause then if you mess up, you're going to blame me. Whereas if I know, hey, look, on this cross block, I'm going to step first. You're going to step back and go, like, we know who we got, right? Yeah. Or on a trap, hey, look, you're just taking it. You're pulling and you're taking out this, and your guard is, backfilling for you. Okay. That makes sense to me. But though I understand it, it's a lot more efficient. Maybe I don't know. I just don't. I'm like, I would rather not. I don't like that at all.
It's a totally different concept because like Mike Shanahan, the Broncos back in the day, and what's Shanahan? Kyle Shanahan. Mm-hmm. They're both famous for their zone blocking schemes. Like, and they, guess what? Every running back they ever have runs for 1,000 yards. Like that's just what they do.
It works. It's just
I personally like a power run scheme more.
Yeah,
because I think it also is like we were talking about masculinity in next week's episode, but like, it's the whole, like, listen, I'm a better man than you.
Yeah,
like,
let's go.
Yeah, let's do this. Like, I'm not going to like sneak up on you or something. No, I'm just going to take you on and I'm going to win. That's how it's going to go.
It's the Oklahoma drill, bro.
Oh, the essence of football is the Oklahoma drill, dude.
I can't wait for football to come back.
Dude, it's hard, especially with the Diamondbacks sucking.
Hey, so I saw 4 home runs in one game. Is that pretty rare?
In the history of baseball, which is like 150 years, okay, there have been more perfect games by a pitcher than 4 home run games by a batter. It's only happened 19 times in the history of Major League Baseball. Okay, it's happened twice to a Diamondback,
really,
which is incredible. JD Martinez hit 4 against the Dodgers years ago.
Yeah.
He had easily the greatest half seasons a guy's ever had in the history of baseball. Like when we traded from the Tigers, he went absolutely supernova hot. And then he signed a free agent deal with the Red Sox, and he's been good since. But like, dude, that half season he was with us, unbelievable. That's the first and only home run ball I've ever caught. JD Martinez, caught you, baby. Thank you, dog.
Oh, is that the one that was on TV?
That's when you saw me. Yeah. So you saw me catching that ding on TV.
Still have that on my phone.
That's awesome. No, but anyway, so JD Martinez against the Dodgers in Dodger Stadium, he hit 4 home runs. It's like, it never happens. And then the streakiest baseball streakiest hitter I've never seen a guy that goes as hot as cold as Eugenio Suarez for the Diamondbacks. He was the only offense for the Diamondbacks that game, and we lost 7-8. He hit 4 home runs at home. Imagine being him, amped. I am now one of 19 guys that's ever done this. And we lost. Like, how am I supposed to celebrate this?
How many people hit the cycle in a game?
The cycle's far more common.
Is it?
Far more common, yeah. Far more. In fact, we had a guy in the Diamondbacks, Aaron Hill, did it twice in his season.
That's crazy.
Like within like 2 weeks apart.
That's crazy.
Oh yeah.
4 hits in a game is crazy.
4 hits in a game is phenomenal.
In one game. Cause you figure the pitching and like to get different 4 base hits.
Yes.
Is a big deal.
Yeah.
But to throw a cycle or a 4 home runs in there too.
That really, when you really sit back and think about it, the level of locked in you have to be is unreal. To take a pitch deep in a single game 4 times. Sometimes you don't even get 4 at bats.
Yeah, that's what's crazy.
So this guy came up to bat 4 times and knocked out of the park. And that was not on the same pitcher, by the way.
No. I'm sure it was 3 or 4 of them.
You had to make an adjustment to a different pitcher, throwing a different speed, throwing different locations, throwing different pitches, and you still went yard. Like, that's insane. And we lost. Our bullpen right now, and I'm trying not to get freaked out because it's still technically April.
Super early.
But We missed the playoffs by one game last year. One game. It came down to the very last day of the season.
Counts.
Every game does count, even though it's easy. Like, hey, there's 162 games. We'll get them in the next one. Problem is when you keep saying that, suddenly it's July.
You got to stop being okay with losing.
Yeah, you got to stop saying we'll get them on the next one because, dude, that's what Budenholzer said all season long with the Suns. And we sucked the next game, and you never got them the next game, and you ended up getting fired after one season, and the most embarrassing season in Phoenix Suns history.
This is our year.
It's not. I honestly don't know what the Suns are going to do.
Nah, who knows?
They're in the messiest of situations.
The only thing we could do is Matt Ishba is the owner, billionaire. He'll just pay him out to go home. Right? We're gonna pay you pay him. Now you're off the team. I've paid you what I owe you. You don't play for us anymore. Can they do that? I don't even know if that's possible.
They can, but the salary cap still says you're paying that guy.
Why?
Because that's the way the salary cap is.
Stupid.
It's to prevent you from doing things just like that, where it's like, hey, listen, I got all the money in the world. I'm just going to buy a championship. It's like, no, you actually have to be strategic.
It's, hey, look, like I screwed up. I'm blowing my money. I owe this guy $100 million more. I'm just going to pay him out.
The NBA used to have a rule called the amnesty rule, where if you did sign guy to a massive deal, you could void it. You still owed the guy the money, but it would come off of your salary cap books. That's not the case anymore. And so yeah, Bradley Beal, we still owe that guy like $110 million over the next 2 years. Budenholzer, he's gone, fired that guy. Luckily, that's not a salary cap number. The only thing I can think that would be a semi-win is, so far it's looking good. The Warriors are beating the Rockets 3-1 right now, and the Rockets may go out in the first round. For a 2 seed is pretty devastating. To do that to a 7 seed. The 7 seed is the Warriors with Steph Curry and Jimmy Butler. So it's not like a crappy team, but like it's possible that they lose and they look at it and say, hey, you know what? They own our draft pick for this coming season, for this coming draft. And it's going to be in the lottery. Who knows where it lands? Could be a high pick. Could be not be. My best case scenario is that the Rockets say we need Kevin Durant to get us over the hump. Kevin Durant says, you know what? I wouldn't mind going and finishing my career in Houston, which is a bad place,
Texas, where I went to college.
It's where I went to college. They have no state income tax. It's also a pretty good young uncoming team with some serious athletes on it. We trade him. We either get Tari Eason or Jabari Smith, our lottery pick, and we're going to have to do something for salary filler because Kevin Durant makes $50 million a year. And they have a guy on their team, Gabe Van Fleet, who is a very serviceable point guard. Who makes $40 million, huh?
I mean, he's been around a little bit.
Yeah, he played for the Raptors when they won a championship. He's been with the Rockets for a little while. But he's got a $40 million team option, I believe, coming up. So that's about the only solution I see. Outside of that, I've heard talk about the Knicks. The Knicks can't make it happen. Because even if we were to say, hey, we just want Mikal Bridges back. Mikal Bridges makes half the money. You can't make that work. You'd have to have somebody else that comes in and fills for salary. And they're not going to give up OG Anunoby. He's a really good player. So what do? I have no idea. There's not a trade there that makes any sense at all. What was the other one? I can't remember what the other one people talked about. But every other team that has been still, how about this team? I'm like, what are you going to get back from them? No matter what we get back, it's going to be worse than Kevin Durant. No matter what. At least with the Houston side, I can see we may get our draft pick back and we get a young upcoming wing who can play some offense. Mostly isn't athletic enough to play defense and may actually fight to get a rebound. Those are things that we need. We don't have. Every other team, I don't see the solution. Right. And that's all assuming the Rockets even want to do it because they don't have to. They've got a young and upcoming team. They can say, you know what?
We're just going to suck.
Yeah, which is going to suck for us.
And we're just going to suck forever.
We're just going to suck because we owe, again, $110 million to a guy who doesn't play. And when he does play, doesn't do anything. And, Kevin Durant's got one more year left on his contract, and he can just say, I'm going to be gone after that. And we're left with nothing. We have no assets. We've traded them all away. I have no idea what to do.
So dumb. All that to tell you, hitting 4 home runs in a game is pretty rare.
Very, very rare. And in fact, if you were to go down the list of like, who are the players that you like, if I were to say, who would you guess has hit 4 home runs in a game? Could you throw some names out there?
I would love to say like guys like from the past, like Jerry Maguire, Sammy Sosa. Mark Maguire, sorry.
Hey, what are you doing in here? Ricky gave me a drink. Well, thank you, Ricky. Sour apple candy. I will try that. It's a new energy drink.
What else? Who makes it?
It's a company called Lost and Found. I think they're communists because you can only buy them on the TikTok shop. So
probably.
It's very warm. I'm going to wait for that.
What is that?
I don't know what that is, but we'll take that later. Thank you, Rhea.
Dude, I cannot wait for her to get older.
Hey, remember when we talked about
running around destroying your life?
Remember when we said like you gotta, not a single dollar is bought an extra moment of time. I savor this.
I'm telling you,
I savor these funky moments with her.
Dude, that's why it doesn't annoy me at all. I love it. I think I don't have this anymore, so it's fun to see like little kids come in, and the infant phase is fun in its own way. It's just a different type of fun. But Rhea's age is
this
just
is the
fun.
best.
Yeah, it's just they're innocently like learning to not be little jerks. You know what I mean?
That
like
2 to 5 year old stages.
like it's so moldable, and they start talking just like you, and you're like, oh my gosh, dude, I gotta watch what I say around these kids, like, or the tone, because eventually she's gonna be just like her mother. So,
all right. So they just did this story about it because Eugenio Suarez on April 26th hit 4 home runs and we lost.
Oh yeah. So none of those players, like those guys that are home run bombers, didn't even do it.
JD
Barry
Martinez.
Bonds.
So the last time it happened was by JD Martinez in 2017. So 8 years ago was the last time it happened. Before that, this is crazy, in the same year, which is insane, by a guy named Scooter Gennett for the Reds. Never heard of that guy.
Nope.
He was Eugenio Suarez's teammate in Cincinnati. Before that, you may have heard of Josh Hamilton. You ever heard of Josh Hamilton?
No.
So,
I mean, who knows? Was he a third baseman?
No, he's an outfielder. Really sad story. This guy was one of the greatest, physically gifted, amazing baseball players who had a really bad drug problem, and it got him suspended a lot. It was really sad because he was an amazing player when he could play. Carlos Delgado, which was in 2003. So was he juicing? Maybe he was.
Probably.
Sean Green. Now, this guy I know was not juicing because if you ever saw this guy was a beanpole. He played for the Dodgers. He also played for the Diamondbacks. And I remember him specifically because he wouldn't play on Yom Kippur because he was Jewish. But he was a good player. He's just all-star. Mike Cameron. What's funny about these dates, by the way, Sean Green, 2002. Carlos Delgado, 2003. Mike Cameron, 2002. What era is this? This is the steroid era. After that, I don't think you can name a single guy. Mike Schmitz, and you might know Willie Mays did it in 1961. Let's see here. I don't know who that guy is. Or that guy.
Joe Adcock.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, you don't
Bobby Lowe. I remember him.
What about Pat Siri?
Nope.
Or Chuck Klein?
I don't even see Pat.
Lou Gehrig is the only name on this that people would know. Lou Gehrig. And it's because of Lou Gehrig's disease. Doesn't happen to be the fact that he's also one of the all-time greatest baseball players ever. But when you said Bobby Lowe, that was in 1894 that he did it. That's a long time ago, dude.
I couldn't even. Yeah.
So I just went through. I would have named everybody on that, but it's only 19 people in the history of baseball, and the first guy did it. It was in 1894. That's how long this sport's been around. So
that's pretty insane.
It is. It's a very rare fact, and it's a sad fact that for Eugenio, also known as Gino, by the way, I just like it. I call him Eugenio because when we're at the game, whenever he comes up to bat, I'm always screaming, "Hey, Eugenio." It's like the perfect, hey, let's go D-backs. Like, no. I'm going to say that guy's name. It's a sad fact for him. He's going to have that memory tainted by the fact that his team lost that game because our bullpen sucks.
How do you lose that game?
Dude, I don't know, man. And we lost it to a Braves team that started out the gates as slow as you could possibly start for a team as talented as they are. And it's terrible. And right now, What?
So 19 people have hit 4 homers in a game. How many, based on Wikipedia, so this could be fake.
Yeah.
How many people do they have docked as hitting the cycle in a game?
How many people have hit the cycle? How many people have hit for the cycle in baseball? I'm going to say, I don't know. I'm going to say 50.
Nope. Way more.
Okay. How many more?
300 and
that's where
300 more.
350?
349.
349. See, and I would have said it was more common. I mean, it's still a very rare feet.
Who was the first guy to do it?
Oh,
George Hall, June 14th, 1874.
I was going to say Shoeless Joe Jackson because that's the names of those guys. Lefty Ford. Top Hat
Fred
Bill.
No Pants Dunlap.
Exactly, dude. Those are the best names. They had the stupidest nicknames in the world back in the day.
Yeah, it happened in the 1800s. It happened a lot. I mean, it's happened a lot.
Well, I'd say it happened probably back then a lot because this pitcher was pitching every single game. like guys like Ty Cobb.
Yeah, we're
like,
a bunch of pansies now. Like,
I know, dude.
Resting arms and
yeah, dude.
I did 6 innings. Let's sit him down.
Yeah, 100 pitches? No way.
Yeah, I'd like to know what Jeff Bagwell was pitching. Or no, he was back. He's new.
Yeah, as a batter.
No,
okay, let's see here. So, for example, we talk about one of the most impressive feats in sports is throwing a perfect game where a pitcher faces 27 possible batters if you pitch an entire game. And all 27 guys went down in order. No walks, no hits, no hit by bat, no errors, nothing. Straight 27 up, 27 down. That's happened 24 times. 5 more times than somebody hitting 4 home runs in a game.
This one says 22. But I'm curious. Either way, that's still insane when you think about the amount of games played over a course or whatever, and they pitch it. It's still nuts, dude. No. That's why it's such a big deal. That's
also one of the things I do like about baseball is the fact that it's been a game for around so long. There are still things that happen for the first time, or there are still rare feats to accomplish. So,
who was the last? Let's see, Felix Hernandez, man.
Who's the last person to throw a perfect game?
Did nobody from the Diamondbacks? Oh, no, he did.
Yeah, Randy Johnson threw a perfect game. He's the oldest player ever to throw a perfect game. He was like 40 or 41.
He was 40.
There you go.
117 pitches, 13 strikeouts.
Which is a very low number for him. There were multiple times Randy was well over 140 pitches.
A 2-hour game. 2 hours and 13 minutes that game was.
Randy Johnson also has struck out 20 batters in a game. Which, this is the dumbest thing about that. I remember the day he did it, okay? And they were talking about how maybe it doesn't count because the Diamondbacks sucked so bad. They just scored no runs. And we went into extra innings. Like, well, we went into extras. I'm like, yeah, but he still struck out 20 guys in 9 innings.
Yeah.
In 9 regulation innings, he struck out 20 guys. Randy Johnson was something else, dude.
So I was watching just recently watching a reel about him, and there's one he talks about. There's one player, a couple players that he remembers over his career that he just was not like able to really strike out or whatever it was.
Yeah.
And one guy, and I can't remember who it was, but he was in the booth and he's talking like how, and he goes, I was with Randy Johnson. He asked me, man, how come you can always figure out what this? And he goes, well, I'll show you now that we're done and retired. He goes, I'll show you. He goes, show me your off speed pitch. And he shows him, and he's like, he's got his glove is folded, like he's like looking at him, right? Show me.
Yeah.
And he goes, okay, now show me your fastball. And he opens his glove. And he goes, I never told anybody, but when I knew a fastball was coming by the way you were looking down, if your glove was open.
So he was tipping his pitches.
Yep. He goes, if you were open, I knew a fastball was coming. Any other pitch you threw, you would grab close your grip on your glove and pitch.
That's insane.
Yeah. And then, so they showed him do it in games, and you were like, holy crap.
That's incredible that nobody would pick up on that.
He's like, that's how I knew. And I would never told anybody. It was just one of those things where I knew that if I knew a fastball was coming, when that grip was open, the webbing was open, he knew.
I have to look that up, man. Because
that's pretty cool. I should have sent it to you.
Yeah, I would have, I would have eaten that crap up.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Dude, yeah. Anyway. All right. Hey, you got anything else, man?
No.
Hey, enjoy DC. Don't breathe.
Hey, what breed?
You about to say? I totally shut you down.
Say enjoy your trip to Florida, but I guess we're worried about breed. Don't breed in Florida.
Yeah,
there's gators.
Yeah, dude. There's so many gators.
I want to see a gator so bad, but I'm like,
I'd rather not. I'd really rather not. I don't want to see them in wild. I don't really want to do that.
But I do, because they're like dinosaurs.
Yeah, they're living dinosaurs.
Yeah.
And I will say this: I have seen one of the, we should look this up. I remember when we were in Miami one time, we were walking from a hotel to a just a supermarket. I can't remember what it was. I don't remember what we needed to get. Maybe in like flossers or something. And we saw this insanely brightly colored lizard. And I remember trying to look it up to find out what it was, and I had no idea how to describe it other than to say gay lizard. Now when I say that, what do you think?
Bright lizard, like
bro, it was a rainbow. Right? It was literally a rainbow lizard. I was like, gay rainbow lizard, Florida. And look them up, bro. See? You see it yet?
Oh my gosh, dude. Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, there you go. Gay rainbow lizard. If anybody wants to know, it's a real thing. I don't know what that actually is called.
It is called rainbow lizard.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, they're a rainbow lizard.
It's far more funny to say gay rainbow lizard, though. And with that, don't breathe.
Breed.
The JJ and Pug Show theme song is written, composed, and performed by Lane Hartman. Thank you to Highland Communities for the support of our show. You can find the JJ and Pug Show on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, and anywhere you listen to your podcast. Just Google us if you're confused. Remember to share the show with your friends and family. Subscribe wherever you listen. Buy a shirt, reach out to us, and place an order. Each shirt is $20, and if we can hand deliver it, we will, but if we have to ship it, it'll be $25. If you're able, feel free to support us by sending a donation to us by going to kfo.com/the JJ and Pug Show. That's ko-fi.com/the JJ and Pug Show. And thanks again to all who listen. We really appreciate your support for our show, and we hope to continue to grow.